you for coming on the Channels Book Club.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
And Melinda, it's nice to have you here.
Yeah, your august visitor.
I hope I'll be on Art House soon.
Fingers crossed on that one.
Tell us about your book. What inspired you to write it? What's it about?
Well, the book it's on the genre of creative nonfiction, and what that does is that it's a compilation of the articles that I was writing while at Next newspaper, and after the end of Next, I decided to compile them into a book, which is quite a practice. It's not new that you compile your columns or your articles that you have been writing to form a book. So we just look for thematic correlations on the essays that became this book. So as far as why the book or anything, I was commenting on political issues, social issues, my travels, exile, and all that, So they are all combination of, sometimes I use poetry, sometimes I use humor. Not sometimes, most of it is humor for me. I'm a satirist. Yeah, I'm a satirist, So I used a lot of satire in this particular book.
Now, Victor, this satirical love affair of yours, has it in any way impacted when you're painting?
It does, especially in titling of my works, when I title them, So because I'm an abstract painter, you probably won't see it like humor, things like that, but there are some paintings that are quite satirical, So a few of them are. From my last exhibition, it was kind of like amusing because the title of it.
Exhibition, you had a medley of sorts.
Yes.
You had the exhibition going on. You had the book reading going on. How
Yes.
did that go? Because I'm wondering, that combo.
It's I'm a polygamist when it comes to that. When it comes to writing and painting, you can call that a combination of two. It works perfectly well for me. I've been able to manage both art forms for a very long time. So I just decided to end the exhibition with a book reading from my books, and it was quite enlightening, So people had the opportunity to see how two of them correlate or how they are mutually exclusive, if you want to put it that way. So they feed off of each other.
Where do books and arts, where do they converge? Where do they marry?
Well, for me, they are practically the same thing for me. It's just that you are expressing something. What is you are using a different format. Let me put it that way. There are certain things that you can't really paint to capture what you want to say, and there are certain things you can't write to capture what you want to say. So, depends on what I'm talking about or what I want to say. I can either choose to use painting or I can choose to use book. So they are related in that form, although not every, you can't really like have a physical relationship as per se, but they are both creative output for me.
Am I wrong when I say you went into photography as well, or am I mixing it up?
Photography is part of it. I didn't go into. I've been in it.
Yeah.
Yes.
I know that Victor Ehikhamenor is not just about the paintings. You're also about the pictures.
Yes.
Now, some of them, do they feature in Excuse Me? What's the title for?
Yeah. Well, not really. The only things I featured in Excuse Me are drawings. Pen and ink drawings. I did a lot of it, and ink wash, and also some of my doodling when I was when we were having meetings at Next. I use some of them. I can be having a conversation and as well be drawing. It's just part of me, keep me calm and sane, and still be able to communicate with you because it's a subconscious thing for me. When I'm drawing, it has become very subconscious for me, especially when I'm heavily into it. So those are some of the drawings that I just featured to break up the pages and monotony of the text in the book.
Why the title?
Well, excuse me. Well, it's titling of books, titling of artwork is very important. You have to understand, So, excuse me, I was looking for a phrase or a title that will arrest somebody's attention, So because you have to be able to drag people into reading something or use words to drag people into painting or something like that. Excuse me is quite versatile. You can use it in any way. It depends on the mood you are in. If you're angry, you use it. If you are laughing, you will use it. If you want somebody to give you way so you can pass, you can use it. So it's one of those very dynamic you can use. It can be applied in any way.
I kept wondering, because I'm not very familiar, I have to admit, with your artworks. I kept wondering if there's a lot of humor in your art. Do you bring that to bear in your art?
Not really. My works are a little bit heavily political and heavy. It's not that I've not been able to quite transfer it. This exhibition I just had is the first time I'm actually trying. It was still very heavy. You understand? My works are a little bit political. They make political statements. They reference history and stuff like that. And sometimes that is not funny. So with art, art is a little bit not, I don't see the humor in it all the time, but there are sometimes I just want to have fun and play.
I know Victor is a very serious artist. He deals with a lot of issues. And now, from this book, I haven't read it, but he just said, you're funny. What? I never saw that part of you in your art.
Well,
Where did that come from, please?
From my dad.
Okay.
My father was a humorist, he's passed now. He always used humor to, temper things down when he buries things like very serious issues inside humor and wit. So I guess it kind of seeped into the DNA, and, that is how I use it. Proverbs, parables, wise sayings, and I borrowed a lot from him. And he was one of the biggest humorists, but in an oral format, so he didn't write any of his down. So I borrowed a lot from him.
You're like a polymath as far as art is concerned, in my opinion. Yes. Visual artist, designer, photographer, writer, and all the likes. Which one is your pet? Which do you love the most?
I would say, I don't want to say the one. I like both of them, but the one that come quicker to me that I gravitate towards more is art, painting. Writing is a very difficult thing for me. I would say it's not the easiest thing. It's a labor of love for me. Like I tell people, I can spend maybe 5 to 6 months writing a short story. In that same time, I would have painted an entire show. You understand? And when you look at it, I'm not looking at it from that perspective, but when you look at it from the remuneration perspective, you say that, okay, a short story, probably somebody will pay maybe $100 at most, maybe $300 for it. And even I don't want to talk about the visual. You understand? So there might not even be the one for $300 in an entire exhibition. So you see that writing is a labor of love, but it goes further though. You understand what I'm saying? Writing is a little bit more heavyweight when it comes to that. People pick up the book and they can read, they can take it anywhere they want to go and everything like that. So, but I like art. I can't walk past any art. I can look at an article, read the first paragraph, and say, I don't have time for this yet. I will go back. But there is no way I will walk past it, a nice piece of painting, and not stop and look at that painting, analyze it, and kind of try to figure out what the artist was trying to do when he was doing that. So in that case, I love art. I love the visuals.
Well, I wish we had enough time, but we've got to round up now. Can you please read something from your book?
This one is a short one. My dearest Magdalene, I hope this letter meets you in a good condition of health. If so, doxology. I know you are wondering why on a clear blue sky day like today, you are receiving this missive from me. Well, wonder no more, because you are the only flower blooming in the garden of love this afternoon. And in the night, you are the only moon that makes the sky bright. I want to use this missive to let you know how much you mean to the life of my existence. If loving you is a crime, I want to be guilty. If loving you is a sin, I refuse to repent. My love for you is as constant as the northern star. Until now, I have been drinking tea without sugar, but your beauty is sweeter than honey. All I'm saying is I want you to be mine forever, because I can no longer live without you. Please, I hope you consider this humble and simple request, because my life will never be the same again if you say no. I anticipate your favorable reply very soon, please. Your one and only Belasco de Hill.
Which village was that?